Ernest Hemingway, one of the most celebrated writers of the 20th century, is often lauded for his succinct prose and innovative narrative style. With a career spanning several decades, Hemingway's influence on literature is undeniable, marked by a distinct ability to capture the essence of human experience with economy of words and profound depth. His life, much like his writing, was as compelling and complex as the characters he created and the stories he told. Born on July 21, 1899 in Oak Park, Illinois, Hemingway was graduated from high school in 1917. The backdrop of Midwestern America, with its blend of suburban tranquility and the looming spectre of the First World War, would later serve as a crucible for many of his themes. After graduation, he sought adventure and purpose, eventually becoming an ambulance driver for the Italian army during World War I. This experience left an indelible mark on him, shaping his perspective on war and human suffering, themes that would permeate much of his literary oeuvre. Hemingway's early works were heavily influenced by his experiences during the war. His first major novel, The Sun Also Rises, 1926, is a quintessential portrayal of the lost generation, American expatriates who felt disillusioned by the devastation of the war. Set against the backdrop of 1920s Europe, the novel vividly describes the hedonistic lifestyle of its protagonists, showcasing the disconnection and aimlessness that followed the trauma of conflict. Hemingway's sharp, unadorned prose draws readers into the lives of characters who navigate existential dilemmas amidst a world stripped of meaning. This ability to convey complex emotions using simple language became Hemingway's hallmark. He developed what is known as the iceberg theory, where the underlying themes and emotions are often submerged beneath the surface narrative. This style, reminiscent of the icy reality of the emotions he sought to portray, invites readers to explore the hidden depths of the human psyche. This technique is particularly evident in his short stories, such as Hills Like White Elephants, where the dialogue between two characters reveals the monumental tension in their relationship without explicit exposition. Another major work in Hemingway's early career is A Farewell to Arms, 1929, a semi-autobiographical novel that explores love and loss against the backdrop of World War I. The stark realities of war are meticulously presented through the eyes of Lieutenant Frederick Henry, whose romance with nurse Catherine Barclay unfolds amid chaos and destruction. The narrative encapsulates the tragedy of war and the fragility of human connections, as Henry grapples with the futility of conflict and the inevitability of grief. Of life and literature often intertwined for Hemingway. He was an adventurer, a big-game hunter, and a fisherman, experiences that would inform his later works. His love for these pursuits is evident in The Old Man and the Sea, 1952, a novella that tells the story of Santiago, an aging fisherman who struggles against a giant marlin. Set against the vastness of the sea, the lyrical descriptions of nature mirror the internal conflicts of the protagonist, highlighting themes of perseverance, dignity, and the human spirit. This work exemplifies Hemingway's affinity for symbolism. The marlin represents Santiago's ultimate challenge, reflecting the larger existential battles individuals face in life. Hemingway's personal life was often marred by turmoil and tragedy, paralleling the themes he explored in his writing. He had 4 marriages and struggled with mental health issues, including depression and addiction. These struggles were emblematic of the larger human condition: fragility amidst strength, and greatly influenced his portrayal of complex characters who, like him, faced insurmountable challenges. Hemingway's tumultuous relationships often found their way into his fiction. His experiences became fodder for rich, complex narratives that delved into the intricacies of love, loss, and the search for meaning. His later works, such as For Whom the Bell Tolls, 1940, further illustrate the profound impact of his personal experiences on his art. Set during the Spanish Civil War, the novel tells the story of Robert Jordan, an American dynamiter working with guerrillas, weaving together the themes of sacrifice, loyalty, and the brutal realities of war. Through Jordan, Hemingway examines the moral complexities of conflict, how love and ideology can interweave amidst chaos, echoing the existential dilemmas faced by many of his characters. As Hemingway matured as a writer, so too did his style and thematic concerns. His later works, including The Garden of Eden, 1950, showcase an exploration of identity and gender roles, all interlaced with a nuanced understanding of the human condition. In this novel, the fluidity of identity is illustrated through the complex relationship between David and Catherine Bourne, challenging traditional notions of masculinity and femininity. The layers of meaning, coupled with his signature, concise prose, demonstrate Hemingway's mastery in crafting narratives that resonate with profound philosophical inquiries. Despite his literary success, Hemingway's life ended in tragedy. On July 2, 1961, he succumbed to his struggles with mental health and took his own life. This somber conclusion to a vibrant life echoes the themes of despair and resilience that run through his body of work. His death shocked the literary community and the world at large, prompting an outpouring of grief and reflection on his contributions to literature. Many scholars have since analysed his impact, leading to a greater appreciation of his artistry and the themes that defined his works. Today, Hemingway's legacy endures, influencing countless authors and continuing to inspire readers across the globe. His works are not merely stories. They represent a raw and unequivocal exploration of the human experience. The simplicity of his writing belies the profound emotional undercurrents that cut through his narratives, leaving a lasting impression on those who engage with his work. Hemingway's ability to capture the complexity of human emotions and experiences ensures that he remains a pivotal figure in American literature. In conclusion, Ernest Hemingway's life and literary legacy are a testament to the power of storytelling. His unique style and insightful exploration of the human condition solidify his status as a literary icon. From the poignant portrayals of love and loss to the stark realities of war, Hemingway's exploration of the human experience echoes through the ages. His life, a tapestry woven with adventure, triumph, despair, and artistry, continues to resonate, reminding us of the resilience inherent in the human spirit. As readers delve into his works, they are invited into a world where every word counts, and where the essence of life, in all its complexity, is unveiled with remarkable clarity. Through his enduring stories, Hemingway provides not just narratives, but reflections of ourselves and of the world we inhabit. The stark simplicity of his prose invites readers to engage with the depths of emotion and thought, making Ernest Hemingway not only a monumental figure in literature, but also a profound commentator on the human experience. His legacy is one of exploration, of the self, of love, of war, and of the deeper meanings that lie beneath the surface of our lives. Ernest Hemingway's literary legacy is built on spare prose, understated emotion, and protagonists who embody grace under pressure. Among his celebrated novels, The Sun Also Rises, A Farewell to Arms, For Whom the Bell Tolls, one work stands apart as his most complete artistic achievement, The Old Man and the Sea. Published in 1952, this brief novel distills everything essential about Hemingway's vision into a deceptively simple story of an aging Cuban fisherman's struggle with a giant marlin. The Old Man and the Sea represents Hemingway at his most refined. The story follows Santiago, an elderly fisherman who has gone 84 days without catching a fish as he ventures far into the Gulf Stream and hooks an enormous marlin. What follows is a 3-day ordeal of endurance, as man and fish are locked in a struggle that transcends the merely physical. Santiago's battle, his eventual triumph in killing the marlin, and the heartbreaking loss of his prize to sharks on the return journey form a narrative arc of mythic simplicity. What makes this Hemingway's finest work is how completely he mastered the elements that defined his style. The prose is stripped to its essence, yet charged with symbolic weight. Every sentence does double duty, advancing the action while illuminating Santiago's character and worldview. Hemingway's famous iceberg theory, the idea that the deeper meaning of a story should not be evident on the surface but should shine through implicitly, finds its purest expression here. The struggle with the marlin operates simultaneously as a literal fishing story and as a meditation on aging, dignity, pride, defeat, and the nature of victory itself. Santiago embodies the Hemingway Code hero more completely than any other character in his fiction. He faces his ordeal without self-pity or illusion, maintaining his dignity and craftsmanship even in defeat. Unlike the more damaged protagonists of Hemingway's earlier novels, Jake Barnes with his war wound, Frederick Henry fleeing into desertion, Santiago possesses a hard-won wisdom and acceptance. He respects the marlin as a worthy opponent, thinking of it as his brother, and he performs his craft with the dedication of an artist. When sharks devour his catch, he fights them with whatever weapons remain to him, not because he believes he can win, but because fighting is what a man does. The novel also showcases Hemingway's deep knowledge of the sea and fishing, grounding its metaphysical dimensions in concrete sensory reality. We feel the line cutting into Santiago's hands, smell the fish blood in the water, see the phosphorescence trailing in the dark ocean. This specificity prevents the story from becoming merely allegorical. It remains anchored in the physical world even as it reaches for larger meanings. The Old Man and the Sea earned Hemingway the Pulitzer Prize in 1953 and contributed significantly to his Nobel Prize in Literature the following year. The Nobel Committee specifically cited the novel's mastery of the art of narrative. It was his last major work of fiction published in his lifetime, and in many ways it feels like a summation, a final statement from a writer who had spent decades refining his craft. Where some of Hemingway's earlier novels now feel dated in their attitudes toward women or show the seams of their lost generation pessimism, The Old Man and the Sea remains timelessly resonant. Its themes of struggle, endurance, and the dignity of the individual against overwhelming odds speak across cultures and generations. Santiago's famous declaration, "A man can be destroyed but not defeated," captures an essential human truth that transcends its historical moment. This novel is Hemingway's masterpiece because it achieves what all great art aspires to: perfect unity of form and content, where style and subject become inseparable. Every element serves the whole, nothing is wasted, and the result is a work of crystalline clarity that nevertheless contains depths that reveal themselves over repeated readings. It is both his most accessible work and his most profound, a story that can be appreciated by a teenager reading it for the first time and still yield new insights to a scholar encountering it for the 20th time. In The Old Man and the Sea, Hemingway finally achieved what he had been working toward throughout his career. A prose so clean and true that it becomes invisible, allowing the reader direct access to the experience itself. That Santiago's physical defeat becomes a spiritual victory. That loss transforms into triumph. That failure affirms dignity rather than destroying it. These paradoxes make the novel not just Hemingway's best work, but one of the essential achievements of 20th century American literature.